Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Tracy Di Bartolo, Thermomix consultant here on a very hot day here in Adelaide today. So if you are watching me live or if you're watching me a little later today on replay, keep cool because it's going to be a scorcher out there. So what better thing to do than to close up the house and have the fans going and then do some stuff in the Thermomix. My happiest days. I'm in my happy place here. All right, strawberries is what we are dealing with today. I was fortunate enough to be gifted a huge big box. They were seconds and they really needed to be dealt with. So last night I quickly just divided them. Some I put in a container, which I'll show you in a minute, to try and keep them for a little while longer. And the rest really needed to be made into jam. So a quick search on Cookie Dough here in Australia. Strawberry jam. It's super simple. So I've got it up on the screen. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. If not, you can just have a look on Cookie Dough yourself if you have access to Cookie Dough. And why wouldn't you? Because it makes life so much easier just to follow the bouncing ball and do things without having to give it too much thought, because the Thermomix does the thinking for you. Okay, strawberry jam. Start cooking. So the very first thing that it asks for is 500 grams of fresh strawberries. Now this is important. In the recommendations, it says to definitely use fresh and not frozen. I am not entirely sure why, but you know what? I'm just going to do as I'm told. So there are my beautiful strawberries. Look at those, how gorgeous they are. I just quickly dehulled them with this little knife. So that is out of my kitchen toolkit, which I will show you a little later. And it was just great. I just dig in, get the hull out. And if they were a little bit on the big side, it's sharp enough that you can just quickly cut them up. So there are my strawberries. I think there's approximately 500 grams, which is what this recipe calls for. I also noticed when I was searching that in this recipe, you can change the quantity. So you can change it from 500 to 700. Now the only thing, the reason I've stuck with 500, even though I had lots of strawberries, is I'm very cautious when it comes to strawberries, especially ripe like this. They have a lot of sugar in it, and you'll notice as it's cooking that it bubbles quite a lot. So I wanted to just stick with 500. So be aware of that, but Cookie Dough says you can use 700, so if you're game, then give it a try. That's 560. It's a little bit extra, but that's fine. And next thing is just 20 grams of lemon juice. Now, if any of you have been keeping up with what I'm doing, I've been a bit busy lately. I did a segment about juicing lemons because they're reasonably plentiful at the moment. Juicing and zesting and how to deal with that. So go back and search my videos if you're looking at Facebook, or also my videos on my YouTube channel. Just lemons, zesting and juice. Okay, next is 200 grams of white sugar. So as far as jam is concerned, this is actually not a lot of sugar. When I've done apricot jam or plum jam, I am quite, it's jam. So there's going to be a lot of sugar in it. But this is only 200 grams, which is not too bad. But that goes to my comment before about how much sugar is already in the strawberries. Okay, this is the interesting part. 1 apple cored. So I've got this little device. Not sure if any of you have got these lurking in your kitchen cupboard. Cost me about $2 from Coles or wherever, supermarket. And just one smallish sort of apple. Okay, I just gave it a quick wash. And now all I'm going to do is core it. So this makes life quite easy because there you go. It's cored and everything is in pieces. So I'm just going to drop all those pieces in there. Not too difficult at all. Why do we put apple in our strawberry jam? It's because it adds pectin to the jam. So it's got natural pectin in it. Lemon juice helps and the sugar helps as well, just to help set that. Okay, easy. Right, next step. You always put your lid on. You all know that. I know you do. But this time, instead of putting your measuring cup on, we want to let that steam escape. This is really important. So please make sure you read the screen, and it tells you to put your Varoma on without the lid. Okay? So it basically just sits like so. And then it's set up for 25 minutes on Varoma, which is the heat setting. So this is going to produce a lot of steam. And we're going to turn it around to speed 1. So I'm just going to cheat a little, and I'm going to turn around. One moment, please. And I'm just going to set that off back there so I can get rid of that. All right. I have done a couple of batches already this morning. I think I'm going to do probably about 3 or 4 batches. And I will show you what I've done. So my first thing is that, I can just turn that down so you can hear me. First thing is I've sterilised all my jars. So go back and have a look at my little session that I did about sterilising jars. You'll find it again in my videos on Facebook or on YouTube. It's really important when we're making jams, preserves, even your vegetable stock paste which you make. Always, please sterilise your jars properly, and that way you will be able to keep it for a longer period of time. So I have pre-sterilised all of these, and then this is one jar that I had already filled, and then the instructions on Cookie Dough tell us to turn it upside down for 10 minutes or so, which I've done, and then turn it back the other way. So that will get rid of a lot of the air out of it and seal the jar properly. All right, so I have got another bowl full of, yep, that lid fits, full of jam, cooked, ready to go. So here we are. I can show you what the cooked version looks like. What did I do with my spatula? Can anybody help me? What did I do with my spatula? It's gone. All right, I'll get another one. Easy. I've got about 20, so that's okay. All right, here we are. This is our jam cooked. So when you start cooking, it's obviously a lot higher than that. And in the instructions on Cookie Dough, it tells you to, at some point after the first 25 minutes, to test the jam to see whether it's set. So I will show you what I do for that. In my freezer, excuse me while I quickly grab it out. Okay. I have put a little dish, it's a little ceramic dish, not plastic, into the freezer so that this is quite cold. And then we just get a scoop of the jam and you put it on. Now when the jam is freshly cooked and it's really hot, the coldness of the little container, the little plate, will tell you straight away whether or not it's set. So you can see that that is hardly moving, right? Very little. So that is telling me that that is set. Now I cooked it for the first 25 minutes and I like a thick jam, so I just went on and did it for an extra 10 minutes, which it suggests. And then as a test, you can make sure that it's thick enough for how you like it, because it's always personal preference. Okay, so here is my jam. Jam funnel, yes, I know, you're sick to death of hearing about it, but seriously, these are the best things in the world. Get onto it, people. The mix shop. In it goes. I'm a bit of a klutz. Anyone who knows me knows that. All right, here we go. But look how easy it is to just pour the jam out, and you won't make a mess because the jam funnel catches it all. All right, easy as that. Out that comes. On goes the lid, which I've also sterilised, the inside of the lid. And then you turn it upside down. And I put it back into that container so that if it does happen to leak or whatever, it's in like just an old baking pan that I don't really use anymore. If it does leak, it's not going to go all over your bench. There is a tiny bit of jam left, so I am going to pour this into here. And when my jam that's on behind me is finished, I can just keep topping up these jars. So 500 grams really only makes you just over a jar of absolute deliciousness. But it's so worth it, because otherwise what's going to happen? They're going to just go off anyway. So we don't want to throw anything away. This is what we're doing. 2024 is my year of the war on food wastage, because I am appalled at how much food is getting wasted in Australia. So to help with that, the lovely people at Thermomix have given us access to a beautiful item called the vacuum seal container and the vacuum seal wand. So the idea with this is that you can store anything you want. I use it for fruit and vegetables, but you can use it for cooked items as well. When you put something in here, you can even bake in this. Just remove the lid and make sure you've taken out the little layer that's in the bottom. Let's see, maybe you can see that. There's a piece in the bottom that just fits in, so that when you put your fruit and vegetables in, they're just slightly lifted off of the bottom of the glass jar. So remove that, don't put the lid in the oven, and you can bake like little lasagnas or whatever. They come in different sizes. They're small, medium and large. One of them, the large one, is actually being put on as a host reward. So you get a large one of these plus the wand. How does it work, you ask? I'm glad you asked. So I put these in. There's a little way that you can put what the date is. It just turns around. So on the 22nd of January, which was yesterday, I've stored these strawberries, which I'm trying to make sure that they don't go off too quickly. And then I have used this wand to withdraw all of the air out of it. And you can tell when it's done, when there's a tiny little button there, and basically it inverts, so it pops in. Then you know that the air is out. And if I tried to open this, it's very hard to open. So to make sure, release the air, just turn this here as many times as you need until it pops out. And sometimes it takes forever, depending how much air is popped out. Of course, this one's not going to do it for me in record time for you to see it. Of course. And then once it does eventually pop out, there we go. So now it's popped out like so. And here are even more strawberries. I think I'm going to be making a more strawberry jam with this lot, and I've got another container exactly the same. So if you fancy one of these, you actually can get one of these and the wand when you purchase a Thermomix at the moment till the end of January, or if you already have a Thermomix and you would like to just contact your consultant or me, we can come around and do a bit of a cooking class. So it's a lot of fun. You don't have to do a whole lot. Just be there and maybe invite a few friends over, and you get the chance to get one of these for a very, very, very discounted price, or maybe even free if one of your lovely friends decides to invest in the world of Thermomix. So keep that in mind. Talk to your consultant, because there's all sorts of things being added. There's the toolkit has now been added, which I love and I use all the time. So this has got scissors, it's got the peeler, best peeler in the world. If you check out my lemon session, you'll see the little knife. So this is the same little knife that I used to dehull. A couple of little knives like that, one's a bit more pointy. This one is amazing. So you can cut the bread with one side, where are we? There we go. Cut the bread with one side and then turn it over and butter it with the other. And then this is your ice cream scoop. So fantastic for traveling. I've got one that is in my travel kit, my consultant kit. Another one is in a tub, so when we go on holidays, it comes with me. The other thing that has been added to the host rewards, so this is January 2024, in case you're watching it afterwards, is the actual glider board. So for those of you who are sick of picking up your Thermomix, moving it out of the way, moving it back to where you want to use it, you can get your hands on a glider board as a host reward now, which is really cool. Choice of white or black, in case you've got one of the black versions. So that is it for me. That is strawberry jam and a few other bits and pieces for you. Have a great afternoon, keep cool, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.